everyone. We are back again today. So I am in the book of Ruth, and it's a quick book. It's only got 4 chapters. So just to sum it up, a man named Elimelech takes his family and his 2 sons to Moab because there was a famine taking place in Israel at the end of Judges because the people weren't listening and God wasn't having it, okay? So he wasn't going to feed his people anymore. They was cutting up. So Naomi is his wife of Elimelech, and him and his wife decide to find suitable wives for their 2 sons named Oprah and Ruth. So they was married to the 2 sons for about 10 years, and then everybody died. All the men died except for the women. So they were all widows, and Naomi's like, I'm going back home. I'm not about to stay here in Moab anymore. And I heard God is now, bringing some crops back to our people. So I'm going to go back home and be closer to my people. And Oprah and Ruth decide to go with her. And then halfway there, Naomi's like, you know what? Second thought. Go back home and be with y'all people. I can't make y'all. I don't want y'all to sacrifice your lives and just live with me. And just live with me for the rest of your lives and never procreate and be happy. That's my portion. I'm an old lady and y'all still have life. Y'all are young. Y'all still got eggs. Y'all ain't had no kids. So go back home and marry some of your own men. And Oprah was like, bet, I'm out. And Ruth was like, no, I'll be loyal to you and I'll stay with you till the day I die. Your people will be my people and your God will be my God. And so I was like, all right, cool. Carry my purse. Let's go. So then they kept on trucking and they made it back, and her friends greet her and they're like, oh my gosh, hi Naomi, we haven't seen you in a while. Oh my gosh, you look snatched. And Naomi's like, my name is not Naomi anymore. My name is Mara, because I'm bitter and the Lord has taken my husband and my sons. It's like so dramatic, bro. And they're like, oh, okay. Long story short, now Ruth's like, okay, well, I gotta roll my sleeves up and I gotta feed us, because what we about to do? Like, you're too old to work. I guess I gotta start working. This is all new to me. I've been a pampered princess all my life, and my husband died, but I now gotta work. So she had a job working in the field, y'all. She humbled herself. She could have went right back to Moab, married her some fine young man, and been laid up playing wifey and mama bear. But she was like, no, I'm going to stay with my mother-in-law, and I'm going to get in this field and work. That's loyalty right there. That's loyalty. So she decides to get in the field and work, and she meet this fine man, y'all. His name was Boaz. And Boaz is like, who is that lady? Look at the sweat dripping down her brow. And he's like, whatever she wants, y'all go help her out and stick extra feed and grain in her baskets to take back home with her, and just watch out for her. So everybody showed her respect, and Ruth was ecstatic. She ran back telling Naomi, oh, there was this fine man, boo, boo, boo. And she's like, oh, that's our kinsman redeemer. He's in our family bloodline. That's so-and-so cousin. But yeah, he's one of our distant relatives. So she decides to tell Ruth, start wearing perfume, do your hair, put a little lip gloss on, and, clean your fingernails up because they are dirty. You've been in the field. Like, put some press-ons on or something. Let me get this lace front going for you, something, so he can come check for you. So she get her all dolled up, and then she go back to the field, and then she goes to the threshing floor where he's sleeping one night. This is where they used to thresh like wheat and like separate it to like bake bread and make barley and beer, whatever they used to make, like foods and drinks and stuff. So that's where they used to do it. They had like a threshing floor. So she laid out on this threshing floor, y'all, like so dramatic with it. And he's like, he rolled over and he's like, ooh. But he was so respectful. He didn't even try nothing. And he actually loved the fact that she did that. He was an older man, an older seasoned gentleman, little gray streaks. And in his head, he's like, she could have had anyone. She could have literally went and entertained anyone, and she's here in front of me. But Ruth knew what was up. She knew. So anyway, she tells him, hey, I'm a widow. He's like, yeah, I know. He did his Carfax on her and everything. So he already knew what was up. He knew her background. And he was actually really impressed that she decided to leave her home and come back to Egypt to be with Naomi and work in the field. So long story short, she asked if he could redeem her. He agrees, and they get married. They have a baby named Obed. So cute. A little chunky plump baby. And just the backstory of who Obed was. Obed was the granddaddy to King David. And guess who King David was? That's Jesus' great granddaddy. So that just goes to show how obedience just works out in our favor. Naomi could have just scared away poor little Ruth, and Ruth could have just been like, all right, bet, I'm going back home to Moab and I'm going to do me. But loyalty sometimes, we don't always know God's plan, but just remaining loyal and just walking in faith, unaware of foreseen circumstances, but just trusting God's plans, that's huge. It's not easy to do, trust and believe. But you never know what God is strategically doing behind the scenes. He's always working. He's always tweaking things. He's always working in alignment. He's always making things work out for our greater good, because he knows the plans he has for us. Plans to prosper us, plans for us to grow. He don't want you sitting there doing on your thumbs, like pouting. He don't want that. And it just goes to show how much loyalty means these days. Back in the days, like, loyalty was huge. And we could definitely apply some of this to our lives. You never know what the outcome is going to be and what provision God has for us. Like, we could see $20 in our hand now, and God is telling us, go invest that over there. And you like, what? Lord, this is my last 20. What are you talking about? I can get a whole loaf of bread with this 20. I can get some peanut butter, some jelly, a bag of chips, and a grape soda. And some baby wipes. What are you talking about right now? And God's like, do you trust me? Bloop, dropped the little 20. And then the 20 turned and flipped and did a back flip and a frontward flip and a split. And now it turned into 20,000 just from obedience, because God knew in the right moment what was going to happen and what he planned on doing with that small investment. But he just needed you to move in obedience out of faith. You have to realize that your pain is never wasted in God's eyes. God can take your pain and turn it into your best season. there's a lesson and a blessing in every season, no matter what it looks like. So just keep moving forward, keep pressing, stay focused, and just know there's greater to come. I pray this message touched someone, and I pray y'all get in there and read that scripture and just let me know your thoughts on it. I think it was a really good read, and I pray y'all have a beautiful day.
Running out of breeze, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme.